Hello, this is Dan Petrock. I'm making this video to help people that want to use Blackboard to do a paper and pencil exam through the testing feature in Blackboard. I'm going to show how to import a sample test that you can use and build from, and then also show how to modify it, settings, add your own test into it. So I'm just going to start off. I've added this file to download in Teams, and I'm just going to go in the Math Teams because that's where I put it. And under General Files, there is a file here called Test Export File Sample Paper and Pencil Test for Blackboard, right? So really what I want to do is I want to download this so I can put it into my course. So I'm just going to maybe click that box and I'm going to click download up here. You can right click it, hit download. That's why I just download it. This is going to download. It shows the indicator. Now it's actually going to download into my computer, and it's going to be in my downloads area. So I'm just going to go this PC, and I'll go into downloads. So this is one way to get it. So there it is, the test export sample paper. So I've got it here, right? So now what would be nice is I want to add this test into one of my Blackboard courses. So I'm going to go into one of my Blackboard courses, and I'm going to just pick one from last semester, so it doesn't really mess with anything. So go to any of your Blackboard courses, and the way you're going to import this, make sure edit mode is on, and go down to Course Tools, expand that, go to Tests, Surveys, and Pools, and go to Tests, and I'm going to import this test. So I'm going to hit Import Test. I'm going to browse my computer. I'm going to find that file since it's on my local file. It's in my downloads, and let's see here. Should be maybe the last one here. Now let's go to the top, sort by date. There it is, test X. So just click that and then hit submit. So it's a zip file. So now it's imported this. It's already complete. It's done. So now I actually have this test available to me. And I can check also, just go under tests, surveys, and pools, click tests. And there it is. I actually did it twice in this one. So there's a sample paper and pencil test for Blackboard. So now, how do I get this test in Blackboard? So I go to whichever folder I want to put it in. Let's say I want to put it in, I don't know, I'll put it, normally it's in week 4, and I'll show you the example there. So this is like a Unit 1 exam. And so if I want to add this test to Blackboard, it's going to look like this when it's done, Unit 1 test. So all I'm going to do is go to Assessments, Tests, and there it is, Sample Paper Pencil Test for Blackboard. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to hit Submit, and there it is. And you'll notice this generic one has some kind of general information. It pretty much tells the students you have 2 hours. They're going to see a PDF document that is the exam once they hit Start. It's got a link to Cam Scanner app and how to use Cam Scanner so they can use their cell phone to take pictures of their work and submit them as one PDF file, share it back. So it's got some general instructions there. I show test descriptions before they begin test. I usually say yes so they can have that practice. And I would encourage you to actually have students use this Cam Scanner app on maybe an assignment or do it once to show work or something. So it's not the very first time, when they take their first test. I'll open a new window, sure. I'm going to make it available or not, it doesn't matter, I can always change that. I'm not going to do an announcement. And so this is where you can start adding your settings, right? I'm going to say it's only 1 attempt, so I don't need to have multiple attempts. If you wanted 2 attempts, then you could do that or limit the number and how you want to grade it. You can set a timer, so mine would be 120 minutes if I'm going to allow 2 hours for them to essentially start the test, write out their answers, and upload them. You can set the display dates. You can even make it password protected. So for those of you who are maybe doing a synchronous online exam and you want them to take the exam during your class time, you can create a password, and then you can just tell them the password when they get in the Collaborate session, or you can have it emailed or whatever. I'm just going to leave this open. I'm doing it like it's a take-home exam. You give them essentially a week to take it, and they have a 2-hour time limit to do that. And you can set a due date, and and all these things. You can decide if you want it to disappear automatically after the due date. This should show up in the grade score, the grade calculations, and it's just all at once. That's pretty much it. So if I hit submit, and if I scroll down here, right now it's not available. It's got this very generic instructions. If I go to edit the test, there's the instructions. If I want to edit those, I click. It's kind of weird. You click up here if you want to edit any of this information. But notice I've got 4 questions here. The reason I have 4 questions is I make it a file response question. And all you would have to do is edit this first question and tweak it however you want. If there's different instructions, or if there's some other resources or formula sheets or StatCrunch or some other thing, you can give them those instructions. If you need to attach the actual file, you can do that. So I'm just going to attach a file here. This would be like the actual exam. Just delete that. And I'll go ahead and attach my test. Let's see here, classes taught. Let's go into stats. Let's go into tests. And let's just use an old one here. So here we go, chapters 4 through 6, spring 2019. Hit submit, and hit submit. And there, I've got the test. If you want to add any other attachments, you can do that. So I've modified the question. Pretty much it's done. I hit submit. And so when students hit the start button, they will see the exam. And that's first question. I added other files. It says in case you need complete exam needs another attached file. So if some people want to just use their camera and use JPEG pictures, this will allow 1 file per question. So I just have these as 0 points, but allows students to attach multiple pages if there is. Ideally, they use CamScanner. Ideally, they put it all in one document and you just have one uploaded thing to look at. And you can see all their work and everything they've done. And pretty much that's it. So now I'll show you this example from stats. This has a little more, you can edit the test options. Again, you can change the timer, change the number of attempts, whether it's available or unavailable, all of those good things. And you can add exceptions if there's a student that needs a longer time. You can do that here. Set the due date, and it'll automatically. And then when I grade them, I just view their PDF online, and then I write down how many they miss, and then I usually make a solutions video, and then if they have any specific questions, I'll field those one-on-one. So I'll have a little conversation with each student if they're not sure about something they missed after that. So here's that sample one I made here, right here. Obviously you can edit and change this. So an easy way might be to download that sample, import it into Blackboard, put it in your class, and you can start adding your own files, making your own changes. Later in the semester, if my students can't make it to a testing center because it's closed, what I'll probably do is do this exact same thing, except I will do it potentially during a live Collaborate session. And I'll meet them in there, maybe do a quick review, and then say, go. My online class, I have students with webcams and stuff, but for you, they may not. They may be doing a phone call. But it might be good if they're taking it all at the same time, because then otherwise they can't pass it around back and forth. It's harder to cheat that way. So not a perfect system, but it does allow for essentially the classic pen and pencil free response test to be given to online students through Blackboard. If you have any questions, just reach out to me, Dan Petrock, dgpetrock@dmac.edu, or call my office at 964-6882.